Alright, so here is going to be a video tutorial with the 3D fire text effects. So let's just start with Adobe After Effects CS3, and the plugins are just in the package itself, and so are the templates. So what we're going to do first is click File, open the project, and we are going to go with the plugin version. Alright, as you see here, you can see the letters, fire, etc., etc. What we're going to do is we're going to select first text here, double click on that. As you can see, it says hot. When you go into the composition preview, you can get a RAM preview, but for the best effects you want to set it to full to see what it looks like from the best possibility without it being rendered entirely. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to remove these layers. Well, we're going to remove the pieces within the layer. Now you're going to spell out whatever it is that you want for your text. You're going to drag this into here, and we're going to spell out Asylum. Now you're going to see the white flame here, but this isn't the problem. All these are going to be switched to 3D layers. When you mouse over here, it'll say 3D layer. It allows to be manipulated in 3D dimensions. Just check on all of these, and now we want to make this white layer go with the hue that is with the layers underneath of it. So we're going to change these to Luma Matte. But all of the alphas, like if you're choosing A alpha, B alpha, C alpha, they always stay to none. I'll explain why later. So let's just fill this up right now to get the word Asylum spelled out. And what I'm going to do is pause here just so it goes right to the end results where it says Asylum. Alright, now as you can see, I have not checked in that all the layers are going to be 3D, so let's do that first. All of the letters that spell Asylum are now in 3D. We're going to take all the regulars, that's M move, U move, L dot move, QuickTime fail, and we're going to change them to a Luma Matte hue. And that will make the layers underneath visible and make these work with what your hue is. You notice the icons here change, and those are just to indicate what's above, what's below, what's working with what, etc., etc. Although there's no triggers there that are being initiated. So now we've got everything spelt out that we need to have spelt out. So let's move on down and start resizing. Okay, well, we want to resize this A so that everything fits on the screen here. So let's downsize this. Let's put it along the top just for now. Select the next A. As you can see, there's box dimensions here. We want to have these lines match up. And then lastly, the white, which you don't see, but it is there. I'm going to pause and I'm going to show you, to conserve some time, I'm going to show you what it looks like once you've resized everything and put it side by side. Alright, as you can see, everything has been resized. I put it along the top just because the blue outlining that's there kind of assists in resizing. There is other ways to resize, but I like to just drag and move things around. So each clip is 7 seconds long. What that means is it's going to start and then it's going to end after 7 seconds. As you see in the timeline here, it goes from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and ends at 7 seconds for each clip. The reason it stopped here is because there's some effects. But as you can see, all of the layers here are set to 3D, and none of the alpha dot moves are set to have any trick mats. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to composition, we're going to preview, RAM preview, but we've made this down here set to full for the best looking possibilities. So we're going to use a RAM preview, and this is going to take a couple seconds, so bear with me. Now this blue bar here that's moving, it's rendering so that we can get a preview. I would have used it on a better computer. Unfortunately, my power supply and motherboard had went, so I'm down to a motherboard with 6 gigs of RAM and a quad core. It's a good thing I kept my old parts. As you can see, they cover for the background to bring it to a foreground, and it looks like a frame by frame. Well, that's what they're meant as. Each movie file is frame by frame. It's a bunch of frames compiled into one file. So you get a bunch of little files put into one file to equal 7 second clip. Now the little green bar right here is where it is in the timeline. Once it reaches the end, these letters are going to disappear. But you can make it so these letters don't disappear by changing the opacity and adding one thing in there. But what I'm going to do is allow this to go through so you get to view what it will look like after you've set in the letters that you've wanted, you've resized, you've put it to full rendering capacity, and then it plays. Once this green bar reaches the end, it's going to autoplay through the entire cycle again by itself, so you'll get the 7 second viewing. This is before you add any extra effects, let's say as lighting effects, shading effects. So I'm going to pause until this gets right to the end, and then we can see it. Alright. Now let's go up to composition, RAM preview. Anything that was previously in there is going to continue to go on. It's almost at the end, so as you can see, that's what the effects are. That's what it looks like. It does go longer, but I stopped the rendering prematurely. I'm going to make it go all the way. Sometimes it just stops on its own because HyperCam is running here, so I'm going to do this a couple more times so this reaches the full end of the 7 seconds. This is vital because you will see that it does disappear at the end. Yeah, HyperCam is interfering with this, so I'm going to pause HyperCam. Alright, so it doesn't want to render all the way to the end, but that's because we've got to put an effect in there. The effect is already in there, but this part will be on just placing the letters, what changes to make things visible, to get the effect that you want. But this is the end of tutorial part 1